Advance2000 and SuccessWare have teamed up to bring you a web-based scorecard that will allow you to see your most important business metrics at the click of a mouse. My name is Amato Figueroa. I'm the corporate trainer of Advance2000, and I'm here with Tim McGuire of SuccessWare to introduce you to the scoreboard and show you how it could benefit your company. If we go to the main dashboard, it opens to show you the current status of your business as a whole in comparison to goals you set, for example, total revenue or average service tickets. The visible presentation makes it easy to spot areas of your business that require attention and those that deserve to be celebrated. If we go to performance by department, not only do you have access to company metrics, but the information is presented to you at whatever level you need to manage. The department page allows you to look at your individual profit center for whichever time frame you wish. So for example, right now we're looking at a month time frame. Let's take this to the first quarter. And we can see how that changes our data. The technician performance page allows you to access information at the individual technician level. Again, letting you set and track performance against goals. We will take a deeper dive into the setup, goals, and pages in a few minutes. But first, let's look at the requirements to get your company up and running with the scoreboard. You must be an active SuccessWare21 customer using the Advance2000 infrastructure. You must provide SuccessWare with a list of user accounts that will need access to the scoreboard. And you may need to update your SuccessWare21 KPIs depending on your SuccessWare21 version. Logging into the scoreboard is as follows. Open a web browser and enter the following URL, scoreboard.sw21cloud.com. Enter your Advance2000 username and password when prompted. Upon successful login, your scoreboard and information will be displayed.
Before we take a deep look at the scoreboard itself, we're going to take a look at what kind of data entry is required in SuccessWare. Before you begin using the scoreboard for the first time, you may have to refresh your KPI manager in SuccessWare. To do so, click on the Report Gallery button. The KPI Manager is the tool in SuccessWare that provides the data that the scoreboard uses. To open it, press the KPI Manager button. In the upper right-hand corner of the KPI Manager, you'll see a link that tells you whether or not new updates are available. Give it a click. You'll want to check this regularly, as we are often making updates to the KPIs in the system. A vast majority of the KPIs that are used in the scoreboard come from the job summary form and the sales summary form in SuccessWare. You'll access the job summary form by right-clicking on a job and selecting Job Summary. The job summary form that opens for a non-sales job includes multiple tabs. The first tab, the Job Info tab, includes check marks where you indicate whether a job was a diagnostic, a no charge, a warranty call, or even a callback. And these are fields that are used in the scoreboard to identify counts for these type of values. Next, we'll go to the Invoice Info tab. Here you'll find fields that identify the total job value or total ticket. You'll also see fields that identify whether or not money tasks were performed. So these are repairs beyond the diagnostic. You'll see if there were add-ons performed, and even how much money was collected on the job. Next, we'll take a look at the Opportunities tab. The Opportunities tab contains an area where you'll be able to identify whether or not the job contained an agreement opportunity and whether or not one was sold. Each of these values, when the job is completed and closed, will appear in your scoreboard results. Right-clicking on a sales job and selecting Job Summary will open the Sales Summary form. On the Summary tab is an area for you to indicate whether or not the job sold and how much the job sold for. This information will be used in your Salesperson Performance tab on the scoreboard. The Lead Source Performance page of the scoreboard relies on you asking a question to your client. Where did you hear about us? Or how did you find my phone number today? In both the call taking form and the job form, you have fields called Lead Source Type and Lead Source that allow you to identify this information. First, you'll select the broad categorization of lead source type, and this is going to serve as a filter for the individual lead sources. Now you can select a lead source from a much smaller list. The selected lead source type and lead source are now attached to the job and will be associated with the revenue that is generated from this job. The final piece of information relates to the closing ratio for your call takers. Pressing Escape will end a phone call. If the phone call that you're recording is of the type service, which would result in the generation of a job, clicking Post will create that job and count that as a closed call. However, if the customer does not want to book, then you're going to choose to abort the phone call. You'll be asked to identify a reason for the abort, and this will count as a failed booking for the call taker. Now let's take a look at some of the setup that we have to do in the scoreboard itself. There are two elements of setup that you'll need to complete within the scoreboard. The first is to identify your job classes that will be used for determining service and installation revenue. And next, you'll have to set up your goals for your company, your job classes, and individual technicians. Let's start with the job classes. Select Settings, and then select Job Classes. On the left-hand side of the screen, select the job classes that you consider part of your demand service classes of work. These will be totaled together to show your demand service revenue. Over on the right-hand side, select all of your installation job classes, and those will be totaled together to show you your install revenue. Once you've selected your job classes, select the Goals option under Settings. There are three different types of goals that we're going to set up: company-level goals, job class-level goals, and technician-level goals. To start, select the Goals dropdown. And as an example of a company-level goal, we're going to select Clubs Sold. When setting company-level goals, you'll be asked to identify a single goal for each month in the year selected. Here, the number of club memberships sold month to month. If you'd like to set goals for a different year, select the Year dropdown and set goals for that year as well. Now let's take a look at an example of a job class level goal. I'm going to select Total Revenue by Job Class. This is an example of another company level goal, but at a much more detailed level. You're able to establish a goal revenue for each individual job class that your business performs month to month. Only those job classes with a check mark in front of them will appear in your scoreboard results. Let's take a look at another goal, but this time for individual technicians. We're going to take a look at average ticket by job class by technician. A second drop-down list will appear that will allow us to select the specific job class for which we want to set goals. I'm going to select Drain Cleaning. As you can see, each of your employees are listed, and you can set an individual monthly goal for each for this particular job class. Again, remember, check marking only the employees that you want to include on the scoreboard. Once you've finished establishing the goals for that job class, simply select the drop-down again and pick the next job class for which you want to establish goals. Continue like this until you've recorded all the goals for your company. Now that we've seen how to set up the scoreboard, Amato, why don't you take us for a walk through some of the pages?
Sure. I'll start with the Revenue by Job Class page. This allows you to view the performance of your company by the type of work or job class and compare that performance against the goals you've established. In one quick view, you can see the average sales within each listed job class, the number of jobs, as well as total revenue. And a simple-to-read graph allows you to see where your job class revenue stands in relation to your goals for that class. Also, on each page in the scoreboard, there's a link to a help page that's specific to that page, which gives you a definition of each of the values and where the info comes from for that particular page. Next, let's look at the Technician Performance page. The technician performance page lets you evaluate the performance of your technicians across all jobs, as well as allowing you to filter at the job class level and compare that performance to the goals established for them at the job class level. When viewing at a technical level, you will see performance indicators related to job closing ratios, agreement sales, revenue, and average sales. When looking at work performed by the tech within a specific job class, so let's just change this job class to drain cleaning, for example. More narrow data is being displayed related to that tech's performance within this particular job class. Next, let's look at the Salesperson Performance page. The Salesperson Performance page allows you to evaluate the sales performance of your company as well as your individual salespeople. This page is also a great example of the overview section on the top. This overview section gives you a company-wide breakdown, while the lower part of the page gives you a detailed breakdown by individual or job class, depending on the page. For each salesperson on this page, you will see their closing ratio, as well as the dollars sold per lead run against the goal value for the same. Finally, let's take a look at the call taker performance page. This page allows you to track the performance of your call takers by tracking the number of calls taken that could result in a job being booked versus the number that actually were booked. Each call taker is given their own closing ratio. At your fingertips, you will see which call takers are meeting or even exceeding expectations and which require further training. Tim, this is great information. How do you see it benefiting SuccessWare users?
Well, Amato, I think that the first thing that really stands out is the fact that it's real-time visual presentation of key performance indicators. The information's right in front of you as you flip through the pages. And you're getting total visibility of your major metrics in an instantaneous fashion. Now, a big part of running a business is having goals, and the fact that we allow for the recording of those goals and the display of those goals versus actual means that you can align your strategies to those organizational goals and make informed decisions about those goals. You also have the ability to identify and correct negative trends before it's too late. Knowing a few days into the month that you're not on track means you can correct before the end of the month. And finally, you're going to save time. You're not running 5, 7, 10 reports. You're looking at a single interface that's available on the internet from anywhere in the world that you have an internet connection and seeing your major company metrics all in one place. Amato, how do we go about getting started?
Well, getting started is easy. First, you contact SuccessWare and let them know that you're interested in the Scoreboard application. You fill out all the requisite paperwork sent to you by SuccessWare. Once all the paperwork is completed, your onboarding process begins with a guided walkthrough of the application by the Advance2000 team.
That's great. This looks like a really fantastic tool. Thanks.